Why am I running for Congress District 5? Our nation is now in a state of emergency and facing existential threats. In order of immediate priorities to begin restoring our republic, I am running for Congress to do 7 things right off the bat. 1. To reestablish God over this nation. 2. To reestablish the Constitution over this nation. 3. To ban electronic voting machines nationwide. 4. To secure the borders. 5. To stop child trafficking. 6. To expel all illegal aliens. 7. To block the Chinese from the USA. I am a conservative Christian MAGA Republican with 18 years of experience leading the property and water rights group and going toe-to-toe with the communists and winning. I've written 2 books about it as well. I am an expert on the United Nations who wrote the first book in the USA on the UN's Agenda 2150. Brian Danzel personally gave President Trump a copy of my first book when Trump asked him his thoughts on Agenda 21. Then Trump later appointed Brian to the USDA. Who would you rather have fighting for you in Congress? The guy that recommends my book or the person that wrote that book? In 2008, I was one of the Washington State Republican delegates that wrote the section in the Washington Republican platform on their position on the United Nations. I'm also 100% in agreement with the Washington State Republican platform. I'm 100% in support of President Trump as well, and was an official 2020 Trump team leader for Eastern Washington. Last year, I wrote the congressional bill to ban electronic voting machines, close the border, and stop child trafficking. I have pushed that bill to our Christian radio audience that broadcasts to all of Eastern Washington with an audience that is now international. Over 900 people around the USA have sent certified copies of my congressional bill to their congressmen. So far, only President Trump has responded and said, "Thank you for doing that." District 5 needs someone with spine and 18 years of actual experience fighting the communists and winning. That's me, Rene Holaday. Don't waste your vote on another career politician that's only in it for the paycheck. Vote for the only real communist fighter in this race that was built for this time and this office. Me, Rene Holaday. What sets me apart from the rest of the candidates running for Congress District 5, and especially now when everybody is saying, close the border? What sets me apart from all of them is that I've been saying that on public radio since the election was stolen in 2020. I didn't have to wait until it was safe to declare it publicly in 2024. For me, it is a no-brainer what must be prioritized when a presidential election is stolen. In all history, the #1 nation destroyer is election theft, and that has always been the communists' greatest nation-controlling tool. Stalin is famous for saying, "It is not he who votes that matters, it is he who counts the votes." Stolen elections have catastrophic consequences on a nation, as we have all witnessed firsthand this past 3 years. A stolen election facilitated through election fraud has allowed for our borders to be illegally wide open to invasion from 172 different countries, but most threatening of all, from our greatest enemies from China and from Islamic nations. Election fraud is therefore also responsible for facilitating the horror of child trafficking that was so well portrayed in the film The Sound of Freedom, starring Jim Caviezel. I have publicly denounced the stolen election in 2020, the invasion across our illegally wide-open border, and the resultant horror of child trafficking publicly on my Christian radio show since it started. And I wrote the congressional bill last year to stop all of it. I have not heard any of them making any public statements about any of those nation destroyers until this year, when it seemed politically expedient and safe to do so. There's a difference between a real leader and a group of followers. A leader strikes out ahead of the pack, leading the way to do what is right for the people of this nation. Actual experience fighting and winning against communists sets me far apart from career politicians with no spine and no track record of winning against the Dems/communists in Olympia. Eastern Washington can't afford to send anyone that will disappear in the crowd or at best blend in with all the rhinos in DC. I have worked for the people of Washington State tirelessly for the past 18 years on my own dime. Look at what I have done. I am the only candidate running that is not in it for the paycheck, and my 18 years of leading fearlessly and winning against the communists proves it. I need your support and your vote, and together we can take America back and make America great again. God bless the Republic. Amen.